What's going on, everybody? Triple Crown 24 back on a Monday with a little bit of a mail bin, showing off some stuff I've gotten in over the weekend and then recapping my weekend endeavors in Indianapolis. Most recent card show setup and arguably my most successful. That it wasn't the most I've made at a card show, but it was the most I made while still adding to my inventory. So basically increasing my overall value of my assets is what I look at it as. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. Let's start showing off some cards. One thing I do want to show off is that this came in on Thursday from Donnie the Murph 398. Sent me this really nice Cabrera. It's a 2019 Optic, numbered 7 of 10, the gold. Can't go wrong with a gold on Optic. I love the shine on these. So thank you so much, Donnie, for thinking of me. I do have some more Cabrera stuff coming in later in the week that's pretty nice, some higher end cards. So I'm going to save some of the Cabreras I got over the weekend to show you guys then. So that video probably will do on Wednesday or Thursday of this week. So let's start showing off some of my pickups. I met two YouTubers at or during the weekend. So I got reacquainted with Zombie Collector Jason, and before I went to his place on Friday, I stopped by 4 Sharp Corners. This was one of the cards I got. It's a Cabrera I already have, but I got it for inventory purposes because I set up in Michigan a lot, so his stuff is really popular up there. So anytime I have a duplicate of Cabrera, or I can acquire a duplicate for cheap, I will go ahead and pick it up. And it feels kind of dirty sometimes to move some of the duplicates, but I'll do it if the price is right. So that was nice. And then just some smaller cards, but I did decide to pull a trigger on an update box. My first one went super well, so I figured, okay, well, why not? And the price on the update boxes were pretty good in my opinion. I did get lucky with the silver packs. I pulled an autograph to 25 of Trent Thornton, not the biggest player, but the silver pack odds are not the best, so definitely take that. And I'll definitely take this bad boy as well. I believe you pronounce it Arez, Luis Arez. Might be wrong on that. But this is a really hot rookie for the Twins. I didn't know too much about him, but he hit 310 in the minors last season, according to this. I don't really know what he did this year. You can see it's numbered to 67, but the blacks from this year's update and really the past few years of update have been super hot. This card right now going in the 140 to 150 range on eBay. So I have it priced at 200 in my showcase. Unfortunately, my box had a lot of quality control issues. It does have this small little white spot on the top edge, but otherwise, card's in really good shape. I might end up submitting it to BGS is what I'm thinking, but we'll see. But yeah, you can't really complain with pulling a card like this. I'm not in any rush to move it, but my goal is to part ways with it for a pretty good price by the end of spring training next year, which I'm very confident I'll be able to do because he's a hot player. A lot of people have been asking me about him at shows, believe it or not, even sometimes more so than the big names in this year's rookie class. So that was a pretty nice pickup. That might have even beat my first box that I opened up back when Update first came out. So then I made a few trades for some lower end stuff. These were just some of the cards. I've got a few more set aside, including some Miggies, but Willie Calhoun autograph, Ronald Acuna Jr., rookie from Fire, another Acuna insert, Jock Jones, part of the 08 Tigers, one of the most disappointing Tigers teams in history, a little Arenado relic, and a Senzel rookie. So a couple of more inserts as well that I've already put into my value boxes, but just some stuff that is basically me trading up a little bit, in my opinion, moving up from $1 inserts to $2 to $3 cards. So those little things, little victories add up after a while. So I'm always down to basically increase the value of what I have. Even if it's $1 at a time, I'm not afraid to sit and grind that out. So then I went after some bigger stuff. I made 2 basically larger purchases, and it was a bundle of a couple of things at once. So the first bundle, actually there's 3 of them, but I paid for this Eloy Jimenez pink probably overpaid a little bit for it. So there was two instances where I felt like I overpaid more than I should have. But I'm a big believer in Jimenez, and this card looked really nice. This guy didn't have any stuff that was graded in his display cases, and he was really fair about offering deals. So I jumped on this card. I'll definitely be submitting this one, but the pink's not an easy pull. I think Jimenez is really undervalued right now. I really do believe in him. I'm not much of a prospector, but I am a big believer in just seeing how a guy does in his rookie year or after his second year and kind of determining what I think he'll do after that once we have enough of a sample size. This was the card that really caught my eye, though. This is one that I also plan on submitting. It's in fantastic shape. I don't really see anything on it that would believe it would not get a Gem 10. Still looking at it now, and it's kind of hard to see some of the corners because of the red foil, but it is the Eugenio Suarez Topps Update rookie from 2014 update. A card that has kind of started to take off a little bit more after he had a phenomenal season for the Reds. It does hurt a little bit that he's with this goofball team that decided to trade him for Alfredo Simon. Yeah, go look that up. That actually happened. So this card kind of stings a little bit, knowing what the Tigers could have had with him, but it won't sting as much if the investment pays off the way I think it will. So big believer in this card. I hope to submit it and then have it back in time for spring training where I can hopefully wheel and deal on, and hopefully Suarez stays hot. I'm definitely rooting for him. He was really good while I was with Detroit, and I've met him a couple of times, and he's a really chill guy. So hopefully his success continues. And then this was a card that is going into the PC for the time being. This is my, I believe, fourth Sparky Anderson autograph, but it's the first one that's on a Topps card, and I'm a big fan of signed Topps flagship cards. It's Beckett authenticated. I usually prefer PSA on this, but beggars can't be choosers. Sparky's autographs, when towards the end of his life, unfortunately, they started to get a little bit more streaky. The penmanship wasn't as good. I have a couple like that, and then he wasn't always the best signer, so it's kind of tough to find a Sparky autograph. This one I thought looked pretty good. The way that his name kind of trails up there tells me that this was signed a little bit later on, but it looks really nice and blue on this 92 Topps. So really stoked. Gonna have to remove this sticker residue here, but really stoked to have this new Sparky to call my own. So that's that. The second thing I kind of bundled together was these two cards right here. This was the one that I overpaid on. It's this Joey Votto from Diamond Icons. I want to say this is last year's Diamond Icons. Nope, it's actually this year's. Faked you out. Number 25 red ink, which I think looks great with the Reds logo. I'm not like a big fan of red ink. For some reason, it just doesn't do it for me. I think it's because a lot of times the markers are usually very streaky compared to the blues and the blacks. I don't know what it is, but like this one here, you can tell the autograph's a little bit more streaky. I did pay a little bit more than eBay on this one, but I wasn't. I was okay with it just because I set up in Reds territory, and I'm pretty sure that someone would be willing to give me more than what I paid on this. And I don't have a Votto autograph, so I don't mind having this in the collection for the long haul. I think he does have a shot at the Hall of Fame. I've spoken to a couple people about it who don't share my same sentiment, but I'm a little bit more bullish on him. Didn't have a great season in 2019, but that's all the more reason that I'm starting to kind of look at picking up more of his stuff, because his numbers, they are on par with some of the lower tier Hall of Famers, so I definitely think there's a case that you could make for Votto. I know that that would just bring so much joy to Mike O's heart to see him get inducted. So we'll see what happens on the Joey Votto front. This was a card that I was also very interested in, and it's my first autograph of this guy. It's from Spectra, which is in Chronicles, but it's a Fernando Tatis Jr. actually on card. It looked like it was a sticker when I was first looking at it, but when I brought it back to my table, it's actually on card. Really nice autograph. A little bit bubbly, but not bad for Spectra on a super glossy card. And you got the jersey to go along with it. So that's number 2/199. This is, again, going along my philosophy of, if I can't move this, at least I have it in my collection because it's something that interests me. And yeah, that was the case here with Tatis. I wanted an autograph of his. I believe that he will be the best of the big four rookies in this year's class. It's just my opinion. And then let me show you some mail I got in today. So these two kind of came as bonuses. I got an Eloy rookie in pretty good shape. I might look at submitting it. And then a Chance Adams autograph. That came as part of a trade to go with this card right here. So I had 3 different Gaylord Perry signed baseballs I had pulled out of those like TriStar products, or I've gotten in group breaks, and 2 of them have inscriptions on them. So I had one without an inscription. I decided that it was okay to part with that one. I didn't need 3 baseballs signed by Gaylord Perry. So this guy on Blowout was offering this up for trade. He was looking for a signed baseball. Figured a Hall of Famer would catch his attention, and it's someone that I had multiple balls of. So I went ahead and jumped on this because I have a lot of people who do ask about Braves at the shows I set up at. Really nice patch of Andrew Jones, numbered 5/5, came in the magnetic, and he included the extra, so that was very nice of the guy. I have to leave him feedback here in a little bit. But yeah, I like the signature on it, I like the look of the card. This is a case hit at a museum, and yeah, that's, again, a card that I don't really mind holding on to. I'm not a huge Andrew Jones fan by any means, but he was a really solid player for many years, and I know a lot of people are big fans of him. So now more people are probably a little bit more fond of these guys I'm about to show you. So this all came as part of a little package deal. The first one is this 1960 Topps Sparky Anderson, listed here as George Anderson Phillies card. This was a toss-in that was given to me, which was really nice. You can see it's pretty well centered overall, which is the big thing I usually look for in vintage. That will come up here in a minute with these next 2 cards. But these were the 2 cards I made a move on, and I was able to get both of them for below eBay at a bundle price. This is a 59 Topps George Anderson, aka Sparky Anderson. This is his rookie card for a 5. Looks fantastic. It's a little bit off centered on the right side here compared to the left. Centering is always going to be an issue in 59 Topps. It's just the way it is, but this is a lot better than some of them I've seen. This card in a higher grade is not too difficult to obtain for a pretty reasonable price. I mean, Sparky is a Hall of Fame manager, but he's not a Hall of Fame player. For some reason, that just kind of makes this stuff more affordable than I think it should be, or at least a little cheaper than I think it should be. I would hope that all cards would be affordable, but that's not the case. But really solid card, and it was kind of just something that I wanted to get to go along with this. And I'm just so ecstatic to own this card now. This is a World Series batting foes from 58 Topps, Mickey Mantle and Hank Aaron. And if you were to pick 2 players from the 50s to have on one card together, these are probably the 2 guys I would pick. Yes, even over Mr. Tiger himself. Yes, even over Ted Williams. Yes, even over the Say Hey Kid. I like both these guys a lot. My first graded copy of a vintage Playing Day Mantle. Same with Aaron. I actually don't have any vintage Aaron cards at all, so this one is a 4. It's in really great shape. I mean, I've seen 4s that are not nearly as good. It's one of the by the card, not the grade type of things. Centering is just impeccable on this card. Like I don't even think I could fault the centering. Maybe a little bit more on this side, but that's really nitpicking it. It's just a great card. Really, the only thing that I see that's wrong with it is the corners. The surface looks nice on it. I don't really see anything. There is like a small little wrinkle up here. Now that I look at it a little bit closer that I didn't notice before, so that probably contributed to the grade, but it's one of those that unless I hold it at the right angle here, you're not going to see it. So that to me is just vintage that is deserving of a higher grade, but one little technicality holds it back, and that's what I kind of look for in vintage. So super stoked to have this. This is going to go in that category of the Trout rookie, where will it feature in my showcase from time to time? Yes. what is the purpose of it? Well, it's more so to kind of capture your attention, make you stop and look at it. The price will be definitely higher than what it is on eBay, and it's kind of one of those cards that I just want to have in my collection, but if you meet my price, then it's yours. You know, $1 million man, everybody has a price kind of mentality on it. Besides my Cabrera stuff, that stuff is off limits, but anything else for the right price, I can be had for sure. So super stoked to have that. So that's going to do it. Great time hanging out with Stealing Second and the Zombie Collector. I'll leave links to those guys down below. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I know it was a little bit longer than usual, but hopefully it was worth it for you. I'll be sure to see you next time. Have a good one.